Hello, welcome to Joos. My name's John McDonald, and today we're going to look at a product that I discovered the other day. This has probably been around for a long time, but I've not seen one, I've not used one, and it's essentially this plastic container, and it's on a clip. And the idea is that it's for going on a bottle of champagne. And I don't have any full bottles of champagne. This is one of Yanis's empties. He does go through quite a lot. Flower wise, we've got quite a nice range. We've got these lovely two-tone roses. We've got a few little gerbera, and I've got different types of gerbera. And these are the germinis. And then for a little highlight, I've got some gold. So this is some gold sprayed solidago, some gold hard ruskus, and gold asparagus fern. Now these already came in coloured, so they've already been dipped. This is dipped, this is probably sprayed, this is definitely sprayed. And just to create a contrast colour wise, I've got a little bit of clematis and a little bit of status. And we've got a little bit of foliage as well. So let's see how this works. This is going to be interesting. So our clip can be used in different ways. So what you can do is you could use it to the side. So you could go straight to the side. You could go slightly to the back. You could go this side instead of that side. Alternatively, you can even go down to the ground. But I think, to be honest, with this clip, what's interesting about it is the idea that we can create this space and lift the arrangement up. Now, because I've got a little mark on my label, we'll go to this side. And I've just cut some foam, and this is just some floral foam that I squidged in, gave it a little sculpt with a knife, and straight away we've got quite a neat little base for our flowers. So if this was going to have to travel, I think because of the depth of this is really very secure. It's not going anywhere. So I'm not too worried about taping it in. Problem with tape is it's got a certain width, and the wider it is, the more you're going to restrict your view of this oasis or this floral foam. So the first thing I'm going to do is just pop in a little bit of our French ruskus. So what I would quite like is to actually have this slightly back. So if the front of the bottle's here, instead of having this totally at the side as a little bit flat, we'll just put it to the back a little bit. Now, we're going to put in two little pieces of our ruskus. And the other thing as well is we don't really want to hide our bottle too much or our label too much. So we're just going to put these in really to give us the start of our shape that we're going to work within. And this is just some leatherleaf fern. So again, this has a nice shape. So I find this really interesting. I actually saw this container or base in a flower club, and it was on their sales table, and I felt, oh, it's something different. Let's get one and have a little play with it and see what it's like. So we've got Mother's Day coming up. This could maybe be a great little way to decorate a bottle for your mum, and you could put as much or as little into this as you want. I think, to be honest, you don't necessarily need to make a great big arrangement. Less is more, perhaps, but we can just make this more decorative. So I've got this, and really I'm going to place our roses first. So I'm trying to be economic and use ones that are already short. So I'll just place these in. So we've got plenty of room with this foam. I'm just taking off that big leaf because it's a little bit on the big side. So really what I'm doing is I'm just working a line with our roses, and I do want to use this yellow. So we're going to put this maybe a little bit through the back. Take them off. So we've created a line that's following this. So when we are looking straight on, there is a bit of depth. This is further back, this is more central, and then things are coming forward. So our next main flower are these little germinis, and as I say, I've got different colours. So I think this is quite nice to have the tones of colour. And again, I'm just going to feed these in first. Now the danger with adding a lot of all the other bits is that we end up finding it more difficult to get to our foam. So actually just having the gerbera and the roses in first is the best idea. Go a little bit this way. Okay, so next then, so we're creating a bit of depth in this, and this is the problem with maybe things like this is keeping it looking interesting and not flat. You have got a limited piece of foam, so you want to make it a little bit interesting. So you could do some loops of steel grass or bear grass, that would be quite interesting. I like the gold because the gold picks up on the labelling that's on the bottle and just makes it feel a little bit more special. In fact, we can even take this back and get that shape. And then our gold hard ruskus, just pop a little bit in there. This is great. This is the type of thing you see a lot at Christmas, but actually it's still available for us on the price list now. And I think it's great for event work or for function work or for something that's got a theme. So you don't necessarily need to think that gold is just Christmas. It can be any time of the year depending on the purpose. So we've got our basic arrangement, we've got a nice line, we've got our main flowers. So all we really want to do now is add our smaller material. So I couldn't resist this. This is clematis, and it's a beautiful little flower. It's just really interesting and natural. It takes away from, maybe this is looking a little bit kind of like normal shop floristry. This is an unusual flower, so it's making it more interesting to someone who might be feeling a little bit more sophisticated in their taste, flower-wise. And I think that's the thing, we've had flowers for so many years now, it's nice to see something different. And I think using the basics is great, and then just popping in something that you've maybe not seen before makes people just actually sit up and go, what was that? What is that? A little bit fiddly with it being so small. And the status, we're just going to pop that in, just really to give that little hit of colour deeper into the arrangement. But really you could make this bigger, you could make this wider, but I think you need to keep it in scale with the bottle. So there is a limit. What I would do is just make sure actually that you've done something at the back. So we're conscious that the whole thing is all round. So this is where we could use a little bit of our solidago. And again, this is just normal solidago that's been dipped in a gold lacquer. And you can break this down into like little units just to pop in. You could even take it like this and get a little branch. I think that's good enough actually. So we'll just do a little check. Yeah, so we have a little gap up here, so and just come in there, just that back up. And it's as simple as that. We've got quite a big arrangement here. You could make this smaller, you could make this as big as this, you could use just a couple of orchids, but it's really putting an embellishment on a gift that's special in itself but gives you a multiple arrangement. So I think an interesting product, easy to use, and you could reuse it as well. So Definitely worth having a look for and getting it. So this actually came from a company called Bloom in a Box, but I'm sure if you just put in champagne flower container, then you could probably find this online. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I think we've got quite an interesting product and maybe the ideal gift for Mother's Day. If you've enjoyed today's video, then click here to keep up to date with all our videos and tap that bell and that will give you a notification of when our next one's out. So thank you for watching and hope to see you soon.